The Sisters of Fate abused their power. When I challenged them, they threatened to undo my existence. So I killed them and turned their power on Zeus.
That's the most dangerous and irresponsible thing I've ever heard. These Norns have no such magic, nor does anyone in these realms that I've ever seen.
Aye, can you imagine? If it existed, Odin would have it. And if Odin had it, we'd be 5 shades more fucked than we are already.
I would not ask them to change the past, even if they could. But we will speak of this later.
So to be clear, finding the norms is not about altering events, yeah?
I only want information.
And that's quite dangerous enough, in my experience. Freya, there's something I've always wanted to ask. What was it Hrimthur whispered to you?
Who?
Hrimthur, the son of Thormur, the stonemason, who disguised himself and built Asgard's wall.
Oh, yes. One of the many occasions Odin saw fit to involve me in a wager without my consent. I wish I could say that was the worst of his husbandly habits.
What wager?
I've told this story, brother.
And now she may tell her own.
There isn't that much to tell. I knew nothing of it at first, surely because Odin didn't expect to lose the bet. A mysterious mason had to build the entire wall in 3 turns of the season.
2! It was 2!
And if he was late, he'd be owed nothing. But if he succeeded, he was promised an audience with the queen. Or so I learned one day when Odin burst into our bedchambers, raging and half-drunk before noon, telling me to get dressed and go see what the mason wants. So, off I went, not knowing what had truly been promised or expected. Dagger stashed in my robe for emergency. And this mason, this giant in disguise.
His name was Hrimthur.
He just smiled to see me. And as you said, he whispered in my ear. He said the Aesir had killed his father, and he needed to know that one day they'd burn for it. I pointed out I was Aesir now too, technically. He gave me a look, as if he somehow knew better, and continued. He said he'd built in a structural flaw behind the Asgard Realm Tower.
I knew it! How do we make use of it?
We don't. He said Surtur would know what to do. And if Surtur's approaching Asgard's wall...
It is already Ragnarok.
Ah, blast it. I hoped it might have given us another way.
Something your brother said. The Aesir burned him.
Yes. We weren't yet at war, but relations with the Vanir and Aesir had been hostile for ages. Freyr got it into his head that he could improve relations by sharing our magic with them. Vanir techniques for bountiful harvests, enough to feed their whole population. Getting set on fire was the thanks he got.
That's true. The Aesir were too undisciplined and impatient for the subtlety of Vanir spellcraft. So when things went wrong, they blamed their teacher.
So... Freyr was a guest when Odin burned him.
Not exactly. Odin didn't mind locking Freyr up. He saw the potential of the magic and wanted to know more than how to improve crop. It was a mob of lesser Aesir, bitter and short-sighted, who tied him up and lit him aflame as punishment for the sabotage they imagined him guilty of. Obviously, he survived. In fact, he used the opportunity to escape. But such an affront made war inevitable.
Hold. The wolves are distracted.
Speeder, left flank! You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass!
Enemies to your left!
Raider on the left! Behind you! Incoming! Behind you! Watch out! Suspect that's all of them.
These were Coal Raiders. Infamous for...
Eating wolves. Atreus and I rescued ours from such an encampment.
That was... kind of you. The Coal Raiders have been a blight on this land. The way they've abused its creatures. Perhaps we should do...
Perhaps.
Up to you, brother. If the Norns know the future. No doubt they'll expect us to show up a bit late.
Whoa!
Mimir, I never asked how it felt to lose your head.
What would you have me say? Tickled?
Merely curious.
If you wish to derive some satisfaction from my pain... I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Kratos swung swift and true, didn't you, brother? I felt nary a... Right.
Shame.
Either of you. What more is there to tell of Freya being buried by the Aesir mob?
Well, Freyr certainly wasn't the same after that. At least for a while.
Enough. We will continue later.
You won't believe it, Mimir. This crest belongs to Fjotorlund.
Fjotorlund, you say? Now that's where Sigrun was from.
Behind you!
It's a fine mess. On your right!
Incoming right side! Incoming back here! Behind you! So this outpost is what's left of Fjotorlund. Sigrun spoke of growing up with these people before she died. Looks like there's a staircase on the other side. Watch yourself.
Incoming! Back here! From behind! Incoming! Come to it! Beat that ass Beat that ass
You know, Sigrun told me her kingdom housed a great treasury filled with the spoils of her family's conquests. Perhaps this outpost holds some of that treasure.
Is that all she told you?
Did she say where?
No, just that they kept it hidden.
Could be worth pulling on those chains, no?
On your right!
There must be another way forward. Maybe those chains have something to do with it.
Kratos, we need you!
I felt that one, brother. Brother, get up! Brother!
From behind! Incoming! Yelfa!
Look out!
Behind you, Kratos!
There it is. The other staircase.
They're ethereal! Perhaps my arrows! Switching! Alka!
Go on, brother! Oh, an artifact from the River Empire. Never been myself. It's lovely. Perhaps those runes over there can shed some light. What? No, she never mentioned.
Is that a key?
Wonder what lock that key belongs to.
No lock. It is broken.
Not broken. It's just split in half. Perhaps we could find its partner.
Mimir, what did those runes say?
Sigrun. She loved another. A king named Helgi. Seems they were madly in love. But her parents wouldn't let them marry.
Oh, come, Mimir. You really didn't think you were her first love, did you?
Aye. Suppose I did. Oh, lady, I was curious about some of the flora we've encountered on our travels.
And you will remain curious. It's not my job to teach you everything, Mimir.
Look, I was just asking.
And you have been told.
Oh, you can say that again. Hold that thought. I think it's about to get violent. You're on fire, Kratos. It will pass.
Right side, incoming! Is your shield broken?
Oh, this is a fine mess. Another Draugr hold runner. You're on fire, Kratos.
The Alpha!
It will pass.
Kratos!
Another Draugr hold runner. You're on fire, Kratos. It will pass.
The Alpha!
Another Draugr hole, brother.
Skilfa!
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass!
Skilfa!
That Draugr.
Aye. We fought it at the other Draugr hole, didn't we? Odd.
Is that a frozen lightning bolt?
My fight with Thor ended there.
That's where you landed. No wonder there's bits of Tyr's statue all over the lake.
Freya, you were speaking of your brother after he was burned by the Aesir mob.
Yes. It haunted him for a long time. His carefree ways were replaced with nightmares, paranoia, and lashing out. It doesn't excuse what he said at my wedding, but I do understand where this came from. You know, I would have beaten you
What?
earlier if Atreus hadn't been there.
Perhaps.
We could go again. Find out for certain.
I would rather not.
I'll bet you wouldn't.
It's too fast! Use your shield!
Ah, frozen! What now?
Iron peace, not a golden war.
Tyr used to talk about how heavy the cost of war was compared to its bounties. He felt like it was his responsibility to avoid it.
Kind of still does, in fact.
Do you regret it, Mimir?
Most likely. What are we talking about in particular?
Giving up your body?
I regret exchanging my life for my freedom? That's a question I ask myself every day, my lady.
What about today?
Today? Glad to be out in the world. How else could I spend such quality time with you?
Okay, okay. Look, there's some debris over there. I'm guessing from Tyr's poor statue.
Defend the peace.
I remember the Jotnar crafting these bracers for Tyr's statue. They chose only their most talented and accomplished.
You have a good memory, Freya. Like Tyr, the Jotnar also believe the best offensive strategy is a good defense. So, this is how they chose to honor him.
The Giants were not wrong.
Lads, I thought death had cured me of my appetite, but damn if I can't stop thinking about the smell of Tyr stew. Awakened a fair few culinary cravings. Black pudding, haggis and neat.
Wish for peace. Be ready for war.
Well, I think that's the last of it. Doubtful we'll find any more interesting bits.
I always admired the love Tyr inspired.
Where I come from. Gods of war are not revered in such a way.
Not all gods of war are the same, brother.
No, they are not.
Freya, you once revived a giant's corpse to stop a certain fight we won't talk about. Could you call on that power again?
Maybe. Do you have a massive giant's corpse for me to revive?
No?
Well, there you go. Kratos, a raider encampment.
Shall we take care of them, brother?
Incoming! Back here!
That is all of them. They still whine.
Poor things. They can smell more danger.
The wolves fear that which can no longer hurt them.
The horrors of our past can be inextricable from the present. You have to understand that.
Brother, in my travels, I heard of a great battle in your homeland, at a place called the Gates of Fire.
The Hut Gates.
You were there?
No.
Is that regret in your voice?
I did regret not dying there for many years. But no longer.